Hi, this is Brad Straley with Jacksonville for Life. Today with us is Linda and Sandra with Life Services. Ladies, thanks for being with us.
Thank you. We're so glad to be here.
Likewise over here as well.
We appreciate it. Can you tell us a little bit about Life Services?
Life Services is a pro-life ministry here in St. Johns County. We offer a pregnancy test, sonograms. We also do family counseling, post-abortion counseling. Sandra is currently in a session right now with a young lady doing the post-abortion sessions. And we, at one point, were a mobile ministry. We had a big RV that we used. Unfortunately, as our RV aged, it was well over 20 years old.
Wow.
It started developing numerous issues, mechanical and otherwise, structural. So we made the decision, since the Lord had not seen fit to provide funds yet for another mobile, to go to a brick-and-mortar ministry at this point. We're located at Ancient City Baptist Church up on the second floor. They so graciously give us office space. We technically pay a little small rent every month, but then they give it back as an in-kind donation. So we're very appreciative of their support in our ministry. Actually, the pastor's wife is on our board of directors, Cindy. She does an awesome job with us. And so we have a nice big area here at Ancient City Baptist, 27 Sevilla Street. That's where we're located, right near the heart of downtown St. Augustine. We have our waiting room and a conference room. We have our administrative offices. We have a nursery room. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, where we have supplies and clothing and things of that nature for our families that we minister to. And we also, of course, the most importantly, we have our sonogram. We have a private sonogram room where our sonographers can meet with our clients in a private area, because sometimes we not only do the sonograms that involve the gel on the outside, we also do the internal sonograms, and I'll let Sandra talk more about that later. Our services are done through appointment now, and we can be reached 24/7 with our client services director, Connie Starr Fletcher. She's an awesome lady, does a tremendous job with our clients, develops such a wonderful rapport with these young ladies that come in. Our phone number, where we can be reached, like I said, 24/7, is 904-429-0159.
Great. Again, that's 429-0159, 24/7, 7 days a week.
Yes, Connie takes care of that phone, so we really appreciate that dedication that she provides to our ministry.
That is fantastic. So I'm presuming that there are no charges for the young women that come to see you?
Oh, no, this is all done free of charge. We are a 503c not-for-profit ministry, so we are strictly donation-driven. So, and we provide all of our services free of charge.
What's the average age that you see coming in?
I'll let Sandra speak to that.
Yeah, most of our clients who come in are between, I would say, the ages of 17, about mid-30s. And they're all mostly wanting to find out if they're pregnant, and if they're far enough along, they will also be able to get a sonogram, and we give them the pictures of the baby. That and at some point we can have even the sonographer tell them whether it's a boy or a girl. So they get very excited that we're able to do these things for them, and also counsel them, especially if they're new moms.
Right, yeah. Babies don't come with instruction manuals.
For sure.
I've read over the years the success of that pregnancy centers have when a young mother sees that ultrasound, sees that it's not a blob of tissue, it is a baby. Do you see the same results at Life Services?
Yes, and basically we have Connie again is our client services director, and she or some other volunteer will do intake on the to-be mother. And during the intake, we go through a series of questions to see how they feel about their pregnancy, what kind of situation they're presently living in, and how likely are they to want to take the pregnancy to term, so that we can then know where the counseling needs to happen. And those who are abortion vulnerable, we hope and many times are successful in that once they see that it's not a blob of tissues, that it has, arms and feet and is quite active in the womb, that they will reconsider the decision and, and to have every woman know the gospel. That's another thing, too, the fact that we want them to know that there is freedom, there is deliverance in Jesus, and that's a critical point, whether they're having a pregnancy test and it turns negative, or whether they're having a child and they're considering, possibly even adoption. The fact is that we tell our volunteers the gospel has to be central in the initial interview and intake with the client, and basically just to get an idea of how they feel towards their situation right now, and the fact that there is always hope if they're financially, strapped. We try to kind of refer them to other sources in St. Augustine that would help them with the financial aspect and the health aspect.
Do you see a lot of young women coming from Jacksonville or other parts of Northeast Florida?
Basically, we get some from Palm Coast, from the Hastings area, Putnam County, and St. Augustine, North St. Johns County as well. But from Jacksonville, we might get a few, but not that many.
Good. So when you do the options counseling, when a young mother, unfortunately, they hear about abortion most of their lives, they find that it's easy, it's cheap, there's no side effects, one and done. How do you, go over that with them, and how in depth do you get there talking about, raising your child or adoption?
Basically, we try to kind of get them to understand that, for instance, the heartbeat starts at 6 weeks, okay, so that we don't do our sonograms too early, because we want them to see that there is, human activity going on in the womb. So our sonograms are between week 7 and 17. If somebody comes and is abortion vulnerable and is, let's say, 6 weeks, we'll do an exception and go ahead and explain what they're going to see. But we do the counseling on what is going on with the development of the child in the womb, and tell them, the specific markers like the 6-week heartbeat, the fact that they're having different stages of development. We have fetal models that we kind of show whenever we feel that's going to be something that they're going to benefit from, so that they are equipped to make a serious decision on whether they're going to, bring the child to term or not. The other thing, too, that we do is that our volunteers do follow-up, especially on those that are not sure what decision they're going to make. So within 2-week period, we call back and we see what's going on, and have a talk with the mother again. Sometimes we've, even done home visits to kind of encourage them and support them and let them know that there are people who really care about their situation, and that will come alongside of them for the, for the birth of the child as well.
That's
so there are various things that we try to do to kind of get them to not lose heart and to be encouraged and to have the child, to birth the child that's within them.
This is Brian Shearer with Jacksonville Life. We're speaking with Linda and Sandra from Life Services, and you were talking about how important it is for them to feel that they're not alone, that there is help, they can get assistance, and they're not the only ones in this position. Do you see any comfort level increase in these young women? Again, especially if someone's is 17 or do you see any comfort increase with them after you get to counsel them the first time?
Basically, the comfort level. Actually, if the child is, if the person's 17 years old, sometimes they'll come with the mother, okay, or they'll come with the baby's father, so that our counseling is not only for the mom, but for whoever is accompanying them at the time, who seems to be a significant person at the moment in what's going on with the mom-to-be. So we kind of try to talk to the father of the baby and try to, explain to him. We will have him or the any other person that comes with the mom. If the mom says it's okay, we'll have them there in the sonogram room so that they can see the child as well. So that there is a point where we connect in terms of comforting them in that situation, that it's something new for them, and the fact that they already have a support system, shown by the fact that they've come out with them. Right. So we, again, try to speak not only to the mom, but to those who play a very important role in their life.
Do you find any success with the public schools or parochial schools or homeschoolers trying to get any kind of abstinence education, or letting folks know you're out there in case is needed?
Basically, we have not done much exposure into the public school areas. I'm part of a separate program, which is Inspire, and as Inspire, we go in there to reach out to the young people in the schools right now in Pedro and St. Augustine. And the Inspire program is there to build self-esteem in both men and women, and part of the program is facing the challenges of sexuality in their day and age. But that's separate from life services, yet it's also kind of a way of getting in there and talking to those teens.
Great, great. We need to take a short break. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back with more from Life Services. Hi, this is Brad Straley with Jacksonville for Life. Today we have Linda and Sandra from Life Services. We got your telephone number, 429-0159. Tell me a little bit what your website. What's your address for your website?
Our website is www.elifeservices.org. That's elifeservices.org. And they can look up Life Services of St. Johns County. Thing I find very interesting, we have discovered through our website, www.elifeservices.org, is that when they search for abortion, we come up at the top of the list. So we get a lot of inquiries because they have actually searched for the term abortion. So that has been really, in many ways, a godsend because it does lead them to us as a pro-life ministry. So that's pretty awesome as it comes to reaching out there through the Internet and other means. We also have a Facebook page. So you can look up Life Services on Facebook, and we do regular posts. That part of our ministry is probably more of a reach out to not so much clients, but as to our support base and donors. Our website tends to be the way that we reach out to most of the clients or potential clients. We discovered in our recent fundraiser that social media played a really important role in our reach and the success of our recent Shred event that we had. We also appreciate the support of Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine that allowed us to have the Shred event technology company, Ultra Shred, come, and people brought in their shredding that they needed done for a donation. So that was a really awesome event we just had on Saturday. But we did mention also in our email that we had needed for sonographers, but the Lord has really blessed us. We have gone from no sonographers to 2 sonographers. So it's awesome. So now we can offer our services on more than just one day a week. We can offer a couple of days a week, if need be, to reach out to our potential clients.
Fantastic. Let me ask you this. You said earlier you aren't charging these young mothers to come in. However, there is a cost. I mean, all these things cost money. Ballpark figure, what does a sonogram cost?
like I said, we offer them free of charge. We do pay our sonographers to do the sonograms, but very fortunately, we have a grant from a ministry called Preborn, and they pay us per sonogram, so which allows us to then, in turn, pay our sonographers at very low cost to us. They pay us $28 per sonogram, but we do pay our sonographers $32 per sonogram. And so that allows us to keep our costs very low and also allow our sonographers to have a little income because it is very costly to be a sonographer.
Sure.
We just recently were discussing that with one of our sonographers. Their continuing education costs can be up in hundreds of dollars, I think around $750 to continue their education. So it's very important that we can actually kind of, in a small way, not totally, but help offset the things that they have to do to be remain a licensed sonographer.
Well, that's fantastic. I do want to go ahead and give you some time to talk about some success stories that you have. We'd love to hear about those.
Yeah, we had mentioned the fact that about close to 2 years ago, we had a person, which we'll call Kathy for privacy purposes. But Kathy came with the baby's father and wanted to know, whether she was pregnant. And yes, she was. She was positive, and we had the counseling with her. And at the time, she and the baby's father were homeless. They were living in the woods here in St. Augustine. And we did referrals for her, the Healthy Start, and they went to the health services department here in town, and they were able to point them to the needed resources. We have kept in touch with Kathy, and she now, fast forwarding to the present, she had a healthy baby girl, Nina, and she's about 9 months old. We have, been able to have her come into our nursery area and pick out anything that she would need as the child keeps on growing. And Kathy just, is grateful for some of us having come into her life. She has hooked up with a mom's group that we know the people, who head that up. And so she has kept using the resources of Life Services and any other, groups that are out there that have a pro-life agenda to help the mothers along, even after they've had the child. So we were just grateful. The father is very proud of his baby girl, and it's just a wonderful thing to see something coming out in such a positive way for the child, the family, and that they really take the time to make sure that Lena is, comfortable and is growing well and is adjusted.
And they also have been able to secure housing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So many times we hear from the pro-abortion folks or the media, okay, well, you guys are pro-life and you don't want to sit there and have mothers have abortions, but what do you do after the baby is born? And I think that's a perfect example of, how pro-life folks help not just during those 9 months, but years afterwards.
That's right, yeah. And some of the clients volunteer from time to time. They want to give back to Life Services,
Nice.
And they'll come and try to rearrange our nursery area. They'll bring donations. So, yeah, there is a trying to keep in contact with them. Our other story was recent, and this story is Jasmine. She came. She was by herself, and she told us she was here from Jamaica. She had married, and apparently it might have been, out of necessity, the marriage situation. She was surprised to find out that she was pregnant. She saw the child. She was already about 15 weeks, so that our sonographer was able to tell her that it was a boy that she was going to be having, and she had in mind, she was an abortion vulnerable mom, And that, I would say, when she saw the child so fully developed and so active, she even commented, "Oh, he looks like he's dancing." She kind of, said that she would think about adoption. And we, again, talked to her, explained, the gospel, asked her if she was going anywhere for spiritual support as well as, health-wise. And she was living with a niece of hers here in St. Augustine. Once she left, even though we had given her the information about the adoption, we felt that she needed to be contacted. And sometimes it's not an easy thing to contact our clients. Sometimes what has happened is that their phones are not ready to take messages, or somebody else answers. It varies.
Right.
But it got to the point where we needed to find out how she was doing. So we did have an address that was in town, and we just decided to go. Actually, Linda and myself went to her home, and she was there. She came out, and we spoke. We sat down in an area outside, and she said, yeah, that she was still, carrying, because I even commented, "You're not showing that much." She says, "Oh, I don't show." She already has 2 children who are in Jamaica with her mother. So the kids are with the grandma. And, again, the difficulty in the finances that she's facing. So, again, we, went over the options. If she kept the child, that we would, help out and point her to the different resources. If she decided for adoption, that we had also possibility of getting her to talk to people in the different adoption areas in Jacksonville and in other places. So we had a good meeting with her, and afterwards I heard from one of the other volunteers who had done the initial intake with her that she was actually thinking about keeping the child at this point. So we want to just be there for her, and when the child comes, into the world, we want to be able to present her with a little something on behalf of Life Service.
That is fantastic. With the couple minutes we have left, again, we said this isn't free to you guys. You don't charge the young mothers. What do you guys need to keep going?
Well, of course, the big thing is always money.
Right.
But donations are always welcome in any form or amount. We big or small, we always can use that. Physical needs, we need crib sheet sets. Biggie is baby formula. Formula is extremely expensive, and one of the big items that these mothers, particularly if they're having financial issues, is to provide formula to them. But that is one of our more expensive items that we provide. So that's always a wonderful donation. We do get our prenatal vitamins through a grant, so that is an awesome thing that we can provide, again, also free of charge, and we also get them free of charge through the grant. Personal toiletry items for the moms. We've been thinking about doing like gift bags for the mothers, because, just we're giving out things for the baby, but also to let them know also how important they are, and just little luxury items for them sometimes that they might not think of or be able to get for themselves.
Fantastic idea.
We also could use some furniture for our waiting room. A love seat and upholstered chairs would be a great addition. And also volunteers donations. We could use help in organizing our nursing room area and to clean and keep that organized, and even somebody who might be willing to volunteer or part-time office manager at this point. So those are all great needs that we could use.
We are just about out of time. If someone wants to get in touch with you guys that will want to volunteer or make donations or more information about Life Services, how can they reach you?
Again, our phone number is 904-429-0159. Connie answers that phone 24/7. And it's not only there for clients, but for any volunteers. They can also reach out through our website, which is elifeservices.org. We do have a contact form on that website that people can reach us through, or even on our Facebook page. They can look for Life Services on Facebook and send us messages through Facebook. So we have several ways that people can contact us for whatever needs or volunteer opportunities.
Very good. Well, we want to thank you so much for joining us today and for all you do to promote a culture of life. We'd like to thank the station for being faithful to His Word in this opportunity. And thank you for listening today. For more information about local pro-life efforts, please visit us at jacksonvilleforlife.org. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Until next time, do something, save babies in Jacksonville.